It's like the news, but for nerds. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. Nerdvengers, it is Josh, and this is your nerdy news rundown for Tuesday, June 1st, 2021, a day dominated by Marvel news. Once again, the official runtime of Black Widow being released, a tease about Thor, and a interesting twist that we'll see with the Thor for the What If show, and the fact that Doctor Strange 2 is apparently freaking wrapped already. But first, let's start with a slight DC/Warner Brothers, or should I say Warner Bros. Discovery story, and this is that the new company that is sort of a new merged company of Warner Brothers and Discovery, this is the new company headed off by David Zaslav, which will be taking the DC properties forward in live action animation and all the rest. This company now officially has a name, and it's Warner Bros. Discovery, keeping Warner Bros. In the name. I think that was a big win for a lot of people that love Warner Brothers as a studio. They love the rich history of Warner Brothers, despite some of the rocky things that have happened in the past couple of years, including many things that shadily happened over at the DC Films side of Warner Brothers. A lot of fans are still really happy to see that name, Warner Bros., in the Warner Bros. Discovery Company. And there was an article, a very interesting one, done in Forbes. We talked about it earlier today on the morning stream over on our live streaming channel, all about how the people at Forbes believe it would be a no-brainer for David Zaslav and Warner Bros. Discovery to continue the Snyder Cut, or the Snyder Verse, with a second Justice League movie done by Zack Snyder. Just wanted to touch on that briefly. And if you're a big Zack Snyder fan and you're still holding out hope that this new company may be the way forward for more Snyder Verse stuff, just let me know in the comment section. Are you still out there, Snyder fans? Do you still hanker for more Zack Snyder DC stuff? Let me know in the comment section. And now let's shift into a couple very interesting stories when it comes to Marvel Studios. First, the official runtime is out there for the Black Widow movie, and it is clocking in at 2 hours and 14 minutes. Now, I saw this pop up on the direct. This is coming from a movie insider from India named Amit Chudhare, and he shared the updated runtime of Black Widow, and he said that it will be 2 hours and 14 minutes. For context, this is 1 minute longer than the officially listed runtime that was revealed back in January. The listing runtime was listed as 2 hours and 13 minutes. This would make Black Widow tied with Black Panther as the 8th longest MCU movie, behind all 4 Avengers movies, Captain America Civil War, Guardians Volume 2, and Captain America Winter Soldier. Also, it'll make the film 1 minute longer than Thor Ragnarok. Now again, this isn't even that big of news, as we did have a similar leaked runtime in January that was at 2 hours and 13 minutes, but another insider coming forward to sort of corroborate that number, even with the 1 minute difference, just implies it's going to be a really freaking long movie. I mean, 1 minute longer than Ragnarok, that is pretty freaking wild. But you know what's interesting about that? This is one of the main aspects of the film that I'm actually really looking forward to, is getting back into the MCU proper world with that movie quality of action, with that movie quality just set pieces and amazing photography. I mean, the MCU shows have been cool. I mean, I'm going to be real. I was pretty let down by both of them. You already know that's the case. I don't really want to get into it, though. We don't have to do it. We've done it enough. We don't have to be negative anymore. Let's just move on to what's happening now. But I'm super pumped for Loki. It looks to be crazy and expansive, but man, there's just something about the movies, the MCU movies, and Black Widow, I think, is going to blow us away and be just a fun action Marvel movie, a perfect movie to get back into the theaters. So there you have it, guys. A very, very long Black Widow film is in store for those of you that will be seeing it in the theaters, and for those of you that will be seeing it on Disney Plus, and for those of you that will be doing both. Let us know, by the way, what way are you going to be watching Black Widow? Theaters, at home, or both? Let us know in the comment section below. Next, we have a cool story about the What If show that's going to be coming for Marvel Studios in August. This is the animated show, but we think it may have some very big ramifications for things in the MCU. I think it's going to tie into crazy multiverse stuff that they are doing over there at the MCU, but regardless, people are pumped about the show. Even on face value, well, we saw this pop up on the Illuminati. It is a cool little report about a new surprise element that has to do with Thor in the What If series. Reading here on the Illuminati, it says, Party Thor. Exciting new story details on Thor's What If episode. Exclusive. The article reads, this series will be solely focused on looking back at the Infinity Saga, showing how certain stories would be different with one key detail changed in some way. Confirmed stories from the show's Disney Investor Day include Peggy Carter taking the super soldier serum, Yondu turning Prince T'Challa into a new version of Star-Lord. While no other specific stories have been teased yet, merchandise leaks have hinted at certain characters and teams stepping into the spotlight of this one-of-a-kind MCU project. We at the Illuminati are fortunate enough to have specific information on one of these specific adventures in the show, and we're excited to share it with you right now. Party Thor is raging until the cops come. It says here, our source has told us one of the stories set in What If is that of Party Thor, who had previously been teased in leaked merchandise images. Evidently, Party Thor is the person Thor would have become had he not found his humility on his hero's journey in 2011's Thor. Instead, being banished to Earth, Thor will reportedly come to Midgard to throw a massive intergalactic party that could potentially bring the end of the world as we know it. While it's unclear specifically why this happens, this information could be thought of as something along the lines of what if Thor's first movie never happened. In his first solo movie that debuted a day ago, the God of Thunder was stripped of his power and hammer before Odin cast him out to Earth for putting Asgard on the brink of war with Jotunheim. Even though the events leading up to the new story are still a mystery, this appears to be sending Thor down quite the dangerous path in What If. This could be a result of more prominent influence by his brother Loki, or could it be Chris Hemsworth, a leading man simply wanting to let loose from the pressures of being the future king of Asgard? No matter how this comes into play, fans are undoubtedly set to experience a version of this character never seen before in the first 8 MCU movies. Okay, so absolutely freaking awesome there. Very cool story. I was talking about What If early today on the morning stream, and I'm just so pumped for this show. Kind of seems like a lot of the juicy stuff that we've been, honestly wishing was more in some of the MCU shows, and even in Black Widow. I think some of that craziness, whether it's multiverse stuff or timeline stuff or alternate versions, all of that goodness seems to be baked into the formula of What If. I love What If stories, but again, I also kind of think this could have something to do with the MCU multiverse. It could lead into maybe Secret Wars or Battle World, or even some of these characters being seen in the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, it is a multiverse. What's to say that these stories are not canon or even branch timelines, something similar to what we see in the Loki show? So I think that's awesome. And anytime we get a little tidbit about what we could see in the show, I am pumped. Having frickin' Thor throw a party on Midgard that might end the entire world, and him being partier Thor, just having a good old time. And plus, the design of this Thor looks really akin to the new Thor design from the sort of Herald of Galactus Thor run that's happening in Marvel Comics right now. So who knows if something like that's going to be involved as well, and he maybe is the Herald of Galactus throwing parties to then destroy the world or something crazy. I don't know. That's not even in this article. That's just my speculation. But regardless, juicy stuff about partier Thor hanging out in What If. What do you guys make of this report, and what do you think of the What If show in general? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to tie into the MCU? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And lastly, let's finish with a small story that really did blow me away, and that is that apparently Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness has wrapped principal photography. Now, this came from the Twitter of script supervisor Joe Beckett. This is a photograph with him, Sam Raimi, and other people from the behind the scenes of Doctor Strange 2. Oh, I apologize. It was on his Instagram, but it was retweeted by several different accounts out there. But yeah, it says here, it's a wrap. I'm going to miss this talented lot, especially director Sam Raimi, a master of the craft and a creative force. And that is just so wild to me that they have wrapped principal photography on Doctor Strange 2. It seems like just yesterday we were talking about Sam Raimi taking over, talking about the film being delayed, talking about potential changes coming to the film behind the scenes. And it just shows that, there's a lot of VFX that needs to be done until this film is actually ready, but they have it wrapped. Principally, they're probably going to do a ton of work visually, even go back and do some research punch-ups, maybe bring in some cool cameos, etc., etc. But what a good sign for Marvel fans that they've literally wrapped principal photography on Doctor Strange 2 Into the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I know that it's Tom Holland's birthday. By the way, shout out to Tom Holland. Happy birthday to Tom Holland. And I know the talk of the town is all about Spider-Man 3 and that trailer for No Way Home. And I do think super crazy, multiverse, mind-bending, time-altering, fanboy dreaming, sweet, nerdy goodness is coming. in Spider-Man 3, but I also think that Doctor Strange 2 is going to take that to the next level. I believe we are on a crescendo of multiverse craziness, and so I am freaking pumped that Doctor Strange 2 has wrapped up filming. What do you think about this, guys? What do you think about, in general, all the surprises that could be waiting for us in Doctor Strange 2? How much VFX work do you think they're going to do on this freaking movie? And just what do you expect from this film as far as promotion? Do you think that some of the rumors of one of the Spider-Men from the Doctor Strange movie then going into the Doctor Strange 2 movie? We know Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. We don't know exactly if there's going to be a Spider-Man or all three of them in the sequel to Doctor Strange, but what do you make of that crazy Doctor Strange movie? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. That's going to do it for your nerdy news rundown today. Make sure you are checking out the live streaming channel where we're going to start doing live streams all the freaking time over there, talking about all this crazy nerdy stuff with myself and different members of the team. You might have noticed a few new faces popping up around here in videos and streams, and that is definitely something that we're going to push for the rest of the year as we expand the channel, as we expand the Den of Nerds, and as we expand the Nerd Vengers. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.